Coliflor Capeada. In Spanish, it's literally just cauliflower dipped in egg batter, fried. You are going to cut it into small pieces, wash it, and then putting into a pot with some warm water, and we're gonna wait until it boils. There is no need to add salt or anything to this. We just want to wait until the cauliflower gets nice and soft. So it's been about 10 minutes on medium-high heat, and my cauliflower is pretty soft now. I don't want it to be completely like super soft to where it mushes if I were to put pressure on it with my fingers. I just took the rawness off, so it's on the softer side, and now I'm gonna strain it and prepare it for the coating. I'm gonna give it with some all-purpose flour. Cauliflower is nice and strained. They are way too hot. There's a lot of steam coming out for me to actually handle them, so I'm gonna let them cool for however long it takes before I put the flour on them.
What?
So right about now, I have and can form little peaks. I'm going to add the yellow part of the egg. Nothing goes to waste here. I'm gonna add it really gently, really carefully with love, and then I'm going to continue to mix the egg yolk and the egg whites. So once everything's integrated, then we are ready to flour, and let's move on to what's next. Okay, so take a look at my little section. I have my cauliflower with some flour sprinkled on it to help the egg stick to it. Then next to it, I have a paper, or actually a plate and some paper towels. So I have my little station. I'm going to be dunking, skipping over this, frying. And then once it's all done, I'm gonna be putting it right here to help soak up some of the oil. In a pan, you can put whichever vegetable oil you have to your liking. Coat the pan a little bit thicker, maybe 1.5 inches, because we're gonna be deep frying. So this is what it looks like. I'm just dunking it in there. Don't worry if you don't get them all dunked in there. There'll be enough egg on the actual part that matters, which is the cauliflower head. And then I got ahead of the game. My oil isn't as warm as I'd like for it to be. It should be kind of bubbling and should have like a little crisp as soon as I put the cauliflower and egg down, but it's okay. You want to make sure you do spread them apart so that they can fry evenly. If you crowd the pan, then it's not going to work for you, so make sure you give it enough space. And look, they're going to start frying. So I'm frying them, and this is the first turn. Feel free to add some oil like that. It'll help speed up the frying process, getting into all the nooks and crannies of the cauliflower or whatever it is you're trying to fry an egg. There we go. So it'll make the flipping also a lot easier. Leave less areas. It's gonna help leave less areas raw or uncooked. So I'm almost done with my breading. I'm almost done, and I have a little bit of egg left over. Don't throw this away, fam. Don't do that. Add some queso fresco, mix it in there, and then deep fry it too. Nobody will know, and guess what? Actually, they will know, and they'll be so freaking happy that you added delicious ass cheese. You're welcome. All right, my cauliflower is all done. It's all nicely fried. Now I'm gonna move on to the salsa that is gonna be coating it beautifully. Super easy to make. All you need is Roma tomato, some water in there to help the blending process, and 1 Chile Serrano. Chile Serranos are really spicy, especially if you leave the seeds in the vein in there. So since I do want to try to have my kids eat it, I'm not gonna add any more because I don't want it to be too spicy. We're gonna blend and then put it into the pan. I put out most of the oil, put it in a separate container, and with whatever's left in the pan, I'm going to go ahead and use to make sure I get some good seasoning, good color into this onion. In Spanish, I think it's called sincrotizar, not even sure. So what I'm doing is I'm just mixing it in, making sure it gets really warm and infuses the small amount of oil that it has in the bottom of the pan to give it a really nice flavor, because this is what we're gonna be pouring in our lovely salsa. So once this turns a little bit translucent, I'm gonna be adding my tomato, Chile Serrano, and I forgot to mention to put a little bit of raw onion in here too, just for flavor. Alrighty, so at this point I'm adding another cup because I have a small blender. I have to use 2 cups. I filled up half of the pan with tomatoes, and my salsa just consists of something super simple. It's Chile Serrano, onion, and tomatoes. Once this starts to bubble and turn a little bit more darker red, I am going to be seasoning with Knorr caldo de pollo for my salt. Okay, so once our sauce starts to have this beautiful darker color, it means that it is getting cooked. The tomatoes rawness is getting out of the way. I'm gonna mix it, and then I'm going to add my cauliflower. And don't worry, the cauliflower will stay in place. It's not gonna go into mush. The egg has it kind of cased in there. And now I'm just gonna let it boil on low heat for 10 minutes and it's ready to serve. And here you are. This is the finished product. It looks amazing. I chose to serve it over some white rice. This recipe is really near and dear to my heart. It was one of the first dishes I ever learned to make for my family when I was really young. And when I went to visit my grandma in Michoacan, this is the dish she greeted me with. So I hope you guys give it a try. It's super easy, really flavorful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.